Back to Callahan's Corner, where you ask the questions, we answer them live right here at Facebook. So have another pre-submitted question here I've got on my phone. It's interesting. It is dialing into KPIs, key performance indicators, and what you should be doing in your business for success going in to any season, especially 2021 with the uncertainties that we have. So I'm going to talk about team buy-in, the things we should be tracking in our business as far as in the field, actual versus budgeted, how to buy in team accountability, and certain things that we should be tracking in our office for key KPIs, key performance indicator, and getting your team and your sales team involved in the daily reporting and accountability. And in addition, I'm going to go in and highlight a couple of KPIs and forms and how we actually execute that in my service business and how we did that. And we're going to talk about quality control and KPIs as far as customer satisfaction. So just a few things I'm going to hit on. If you have any comments or questions, drop them below in the live recorded version. And before I read off the question here, if you're watching live and you are interested in hearing what we are about to release here in the next week or so, brand new product by SimpleGrowth, leading the way in creating a revolutionary way to use service autopilot, built and used by seven-figure plus business owners and users. We're going in and taking in our industry expertise of myself as Dylan, Chad, obviously myself, all running and building seven-figure plus businesses. So we're going to take our industry expertise of growing the million mark and well beyond, and what it looks like to use a CRM or a software such as Service Autopilot, and our new product, Service Autopilot launch by SimpleGrowth, so SG launch, is going to be an additional offering that we have on top of our Service Autopilot Pro setup. So when we go in and we set up Service Autopilot for folks, we've done in some of the videos here I've talked about it. In the last week, we've done 17 or 18 Service Autopilot setups in this fashion. Well, there's a resounding need to go in and tackle some of these things such as KPIs in these different forms and documents that people need. So what Dylan, myself, Chad, and the SimpleGrowth team did is we got together, brainstormed what were the things that we were using in our businesses that were industry specific and not generic, but we could actually take some of the stuff that was very successful and instrumental in our business and repackage it for Service Autopilot users. So one of the things that we've been really known for is going out and giving custom service and being able to understand where business owners are in the trenches in their business, and not only just teach features and functions of the software, but actually teach a predictable workflow so you can scale to $1 million and well beyond. But we also understand that the key areas in the software that if they're utilized correctly in a certain workflow allows you to blast past those growth hurdles for success. So I'm going to answer the question here out of my phone on KPIs that I think are essential. And then if people are interested, I am going to basically give a quick preview of SG Launch, our new product offering that will revolutionize your business and allow it to take it to the next level, buy time back, and not have to figure out what you need to build out in your forms or documents or automations. We're going to bundle this all together and give you your roadmap to a seven-figure business and some added bonuses of building out some documents and forms for you if you need some extra stuff. But our thought is, why would we let you guys, if you haven't gotten to the point in your business where you want to be, why would we force you to go out and through trial and error, figure out what you need to do to be successful and break through those growth barriers? Dylan, myself, Chad, and hundreds of business owners that have worked with SimpleGrowth have done this and blown through those barriers. So we're trying to create a different approach of an industry-specific solution for your business that has been built by seven-figure plus business owners who have gone out, scaled those businesses, and actually set up such a turnkey business that it actually has been acquired at a very large sum and allowed at least Dylan and I and the SimpleGrowth team to actually come out now and share what we've learned and allow you not to make the same mistakes we did, but to blast through those growth hurdles. So that has been the differentiating factor and really helping people grow their business. And I feel like it's my duty, it's Dylan's duty, it's our team's duty to give back to you guys and show you where those instrumental documents, those forms, those automations are, and put a package together so you don't have to go out and try to keep trying to build it out yourself. We're going to show you how to do it and show you the path to success that we've experienced through trial and error, sometimes getting it lucky, sometimes not getting it lucky, And at the 5th or 6th time, 7th time, we figured out how to make that work. So I'll give you a quick preview if people are watching. I want to say what's up to Hobie Barrett. Brother, appreciate everything you do for the SimpleGrowth team as well. Crushing it out in Savannah, Georgia. So hopefully after this COVID settles down, we'll see it. But what I'm going to do is bump out the screen here. And before I forget, I'm going to actually read the question here. So curious as what KPIs other companies share with their team. How often do you update these? I'd like to have a company dashboard with key performance metrics and wonder how companies do this. So I'm going to actually show you how we did that in my 7-figure plus business and how you can do it in your business. And then after that, if we have some time, which I feel we will give you a preview of SG launch coming out here at the end of this week or beginning of next week. And some of the pretty crazy goodies. Wait to hear about the Facebook group, because there isn't a Facebook group around this in the whole entire Facebook ecosystem or service autopilot. So going to be a lot of value. I'll break that out in a minute. But I'm going to pop the screen open and show you what we got around KPIs in this pre-submitted question. Once again, if you have any other questions around your business, service industry, lawn care, home cleaning, pest control, drop them in the area here or drop them in a private message to me. And we're happy to dial in and answer these right here on Callahan's Corner. So I'm in one of my test accounts. So this is actually a very similar version of what's going to be in part of our SG launch, our new package. So KPIs, key performance indicators, under the auto assist is going to either be built, if you're doing it yourself, you can do this in a V2 or V3 form, doesn't matter. Obviously, when we do SG launch, these things are going to be in a V3 form, but potentially in V2 as well. So we give you that option, that granularity. So the A for auto assist is a feature that we had talked about with Service Autopilot when they first launched automations, and basically it's a shortcut key. So if you're unfamiliar with this, you can go in and add as many of these as you want here. So I'm in the basement office here, so internet's a little bit slower. But once these load in, we're going to be talking about it. So we're going to be talking about our employee systems, our office KPIs, summer KPIs, winter KPIs, quality QC, quality control forms, or KPIs, and purchase and asset management. So these would be a selection of just some of the pre-built forms that is going to be in our new SG launch. And I'm going to go in and kind of give you a quick peek at some of these things here. So I think as we're going into January here, depending on whether you're in the north or south or southwest, we're going to be getting into sales season. So what we're going to be doing here is building out a marketing and sales budget and plan. So basically, this is something that's assigned to your admin in the office or yourself for accountability. Basically, putting the day in here. So we've set goals for how many lawn mowing renewals we need, how many new clients we need, and the number of new clients we need to hit our sales goal. So what we've done is grabbed our 3 or 4 core gateway services that we're driving is our growth in the business. And this is submitted to our admin, whoever's responsible for the sales, and I'm plugging in the number of new renewals, number of new clients, and number of mowing clients to hit the sales goal. Traditional fertilizing, we're looking at contract renewals, new clients, and fertilization. Same thing with organic. Accounts receivable, we're going to want to see this as a daily basis. So as a business owner, if I've got 15, 20 employees or more, or I'm just starting out, what I want to do is create a daily cadence for your admin to fill this out. Because as a business owner, sometimes if I'm gone at 30 days at a pop, or if I'm still out in the field and I still have a virtual assistant or an admin, these are things I want to see. So I want to take a look at my accounts receivable, what people owe me. So who's current, how much money is in the pipeline that's current, what's 30, 60, and 90 days out. So this gives me an ability that now in this field, you may be figuring what it is for the last week versus this week versus last week. So we can see the changes. Customer leads, how many new leads do we have today? How many new clients and how many canceled clients? So then that is going to give us a net new client count. So these are some of the high level KPIs that we're looking at for your office during the sales season, especially. Now, as we're going in, quality control forms, without getting into all these, this is a big one here. So how do we go out as we scale a business if we're not in the field anymore? So either the business owner, the manager, somebody needs to be doing this for accountability. So the question was around how do we share this out? And I'm going to show you how we tie this in right here to our daily wins and losses, as well as crew public accountability. So your percent of budgeted plus a quality score. So a lot of people have seen this. Say, well, hey, Mike, how did you track that? Or how would you do that in a service business? Well, this is how we would do it. We have a commercial quality control form and a residential quality form. You may break it down for industrial, residential, or HOAs. But on a high level, we've got our lawn mowing from 1 is just being a disaster to 10 is perfect. So rate the lawn mowing performed at the last visit. This includes an even cut, no turn marks in the grass from the mower, trash was not run over and picked up, the grass was directed away from the beds and blown off prior to finishing. You kind of get the idea. So we're going in for our mowing, our line trimming. If you're in the south or southwest, stick edging is going to be in here. Blowing, weed-free appearance and landscape beds. If we're doing bed and bush packages or complete landscape maintenance, these are things we want to look at. Sucker growth on trees. That's a big thing in the north and a bit southern than the north as well. Shrubs on property. And then we've got the details of the duty. So they walked, the manager, whoever did this, they walked the entire property, expected the lawn mowing, the line trimming, the landscape beds, sucker growth, spot sprayed, filled notes in the to-do section, and they created a to-do potentially. And on your mobile, we're going to require pictures of some of the good things and some of the bad things. So this is instant feedback when we have our morning huddle, and we're going to give some instant feedback when we have our one-on-ones with the crew. So this is some of the ideas of the KPI, how to create accountability, and then share that information out with the crews and the business owner if this is not the business owner doing this. In addition, not necessarily KPIs, but we want to create some accountability, purchase orders and management. So anything over $100 in our business is what we set that threshold to be approved. So the amount, first name and last name of the administrator approved it, the notes approved, not approved. And then it was done, the manager, whoever was buying, could take a picture of the actual receipt to make sure we had that there. But purchase order submission. So we're tracking accountability for actual versus budget for our budgeted times there. We've got different employee systems. So we're going to go in and have different processes. So our summer interview, our snow interview, our day off request, summer KPIs. So we've got mowing KPIs, lawn fertilization KPIs, landscape maintenance KPIs. And if you're lucky enough to be in the winter, the end of plowing KPI, basically the after plowing report and the monitoring report. So if you're in an area where, excuse me, you are in an area where you have to go out and monitor. So in our market, it was the 3rd largest market in the whole United States. So we get lake effect snow as well. So between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., we had somebody 7 days a week, if the temperature was below 50 degrees, driving through each night through our routes and working in this monitoring forum with taking pictures and on-site measurements and ice basically evaluations. So if a client called, and it would happen a lot, well, not a lot, but occasionally, where someone would call them like, hey, it's 7 o'clock, I just got to my parking lot and it's not plowed out, you guys must have overslept. We're like, well, no, Mr. Business Owner, let me just send you a shot of the monitoring report. And, sure as heck, right there, 2 hours earlier, we had already taken a picture with a ruler in the temperature in the guy's parking lot and said, no, actually it was lake effect that came in that was unpredicted. And obviously it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours, or sometimes 3 to 4 hours to clear out a whole route. So no, we were there, we're monitoring, this is what you're paying for. So with everything that my businesses do, we try to continue to communicate and show the value. It's not good enough just to say you did it, but we need to prove we did it, and we need to raise that and increase that perceived value. So we're going in and having these monitor reports and end of the plow reports, quality control. But the idea here is we've got our sales systems, on-site estimate forms, master sales form. We've got our employee systems for interviewing, days off requests, office KPIs, our summer KPIs for each type of main landscape and mowing and fertilizing service. And this is going to also track for like your fertilizing, how many bags or how many gallons of pesticide were budgeted and how much you actually used. And then we've got our winter KPIs, quality control, and purchase orders and asset management. So those are some of the main KPIs. All of these pretty much will be in the new SG Launch product that we are launching. So once again, we're trying to give you the tools that took us years and a lot of pain to figure out. So we're not just going to say, hey, let's build some forms for you. We want to actually give you forms that are built for your business and the pitfalls and pains that you're going to proceed to see as you scale your business. So kind of a different approach to things there. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to recommend is we track our daily and wins and losses. So this may look familiar to some folks, but this is really important. We need to be tracking in an automated way. If either use a SimpleGrowth KPI version 2 that's automated in the report center, or simply have a sheet like this here that's also part of our KPI package where you're manually putting in the start and stop time here. So basically, you'd physically type in the start and stop time, total hours lunch, and how many guys or girls are on the crew. So it would give your total gross hours minus the lunch. You have total payroll hours, liability, versus the budget hours. In this fictitious example here, we're 5.75 hours over budget. So this 74% is basically saying you only gave 74% and you didn't give 100. So if it was 100, you were at budget. So they were at 22, we're budgeted for 17.75. So we're going to take that percentage of budget and drive that into either a TV or a dry erase board or a chalkboard. We had a big dry erase board for all the crews, and they're all listed per division. But we'd have the percent of budget and that quality score. So that quality score would be driven from that KPI form for internal inspections by a manager or owner. And we would also track your compliments and complaints coming in through the office via email, text, and phone call. And that's what would go in. So the public accountability is the crews were tied and rewarded to a percentage of budget and a quality score. And then we'd have our weekly results. The following Monday in our huddle, we would reward the most productive with quality team. Sometimes it was gift cards. It depended, but we did make a big deal out of it there. So that was something that we did at least once a week to reward it. And a lot of times the guys and girls would get in and they'd look at this board and we'd have some friendly competition. So those are those main KPI accountabilities. So as we're diving in, we talk about raising prices, but this is the idea. Is the other key performance indicator is if you're doing the sheet back here, this is going to track each crew and a total for the whole week for all your crews. So on average, are you hitting your budgeted time with quality across all your crews? And then we want to dive in when we go to raise our prices right now. Instead of doing a percentage or dollar amount fixed across the board, we go in and say if we're making $57 an hour and our desired goal is 60, then we're about $2.70 below our budgeted desired amount. So the sheet says, hey, you got to raise it by $2.56. So these are things we can also share with our team, especially our estimators in the bigger business. So I'm recommending it on a daily basis, report daily versus actual. We are going to have a quick printout or something where the manager goes in, talks to the crews on the called in compliments and complaints. And we're also going to be talking about the KPIs off the internal form where we're going out and doing a self-audit. And if you're using Martha Woodward's quality-driven software, great product to go along with those two processes. You can really have focus in there. But those are the main things that I'm looking at in my service business to tackle that. So those are the main things. And really quickly, you can do this in the accounting center as well. So if you're looking to take our version 2 of our KPI accountability, whether you build it yourself or you have us help you, same idea. This is each crew, clocked time, budgeted time, and the percent of budgets. That 125 is their 25% under budget. And the cool thing here is if you have bad data, I'll show you in the next screen, it actually tells you that you didn't have a clock in and clock out time. So you better go back to the closeout day screen and fix that. So you know, and then this will tell you, say, on average, you don't have to raise the price. This one here, on average, you need to raise that price by $5.04 per cutting. But if you had 35 or 52 mowings, they would all be listed here automatically, and they'd be delivered you through the automated essay report. So that's the idea of KPIs, key performance indicators, that I'm looking at. I'm going to be looking at in our new SG launch program. I'm going to be looking at sales systems, employee KPIs, office, summer, winter, quality control, and purchase orders and asset management. So those are the things that I'm going to recommend you to be tracking to that million mark and well beyond, amongst some other things as well. So give you a sneak preview here. Definitely was not ready to show this to general public, but if you're hanging out here and you want to take a look at the SA launch, the Service Autopilot launch by SimpleGrowth, sneak preview. If you have any comments or questions on this, let me know. But I'm going to kind of go through and break down some of this here of what we're looking at. But basically, we're to drive the proven daily budget versus actual time success system for lawn care business owners. Actually, this will work for home cleaning as well. But we're actually going to take the million-dollar systems that Dylan and I built in both of our businesses that ended up getting acquired because we had created basically a turnkey franchise without franchisees and allowed us to sell those businesses. And literally the day we both signed, when we sold those businesses, we left that business. We never had to come back. But these were some of the things that created exponential value in both those acquisitions. And cause people to actually want to buy these assets. So this is what we're going to be putting in SG Launch among some other things. But we're looking at about, if you bought these things separately, about a $468 yearly value. But this automated report reveals if you're hitting your financial goals, and the key is without guessing. We want to take the guessing or the guesstimating out of your system. We're going to help you develop predictable, non-emotional processes to raise your prices per service. So it's not enough to know on average, are we making money, but are we losing our shirt on some services and crushing in others? And that might be okay for some business owners. On average, we're making money, but we want to give you that non-emotional process to create a predictable business to continue to scale and make profitable jobs day in and day out across all the services on any client. We're going to go in the process is going to identify your underperforming accounts and target price increases on those accounts while we're keeping the most profitable accounts happy and preventing them from shopping your competition. So once again, if you're going out as a percentage or a dollar increase, you are making a fatal mistake that I made in my business. And I forced or basically gave my most profitable clients in the early days permission to go shop for me because I was raising their price and I was still making like $100 an hour plus on them. My goal was only 50 or 60. So why would you ever raise the prices if you're making an extra $40 an hour on a job? Doesn't make sense. But when we're in the trenches and building these businesses, we don't think about this. So that's the first thing that we're going to be including in the SG Launch of Service Autopilot. Next thing, we're talking about pre-built expert forms. I gave you a preview of some of the things that are actually going to be in there. But these aren't just pre-built forms that are generic, like a house, basically. So we're going out and we're building you a custom house, basically, the comparison. It's not a manufactured house. This is a custom house built by seven-figure business owners that have already been there and seen that. So we're going to give you these pre-built forms to run your business that Dylan and I have used in our business with success. So we're not going to say, we're just going to go out and build these forms for you. Tell us what you want. Now, there's a potential we may do some of that, but I think the real value in what we find is when people work with us as a certified advisor and a consultant is they leverage the ability of Dylan, myself, and Chad of running seven-figure businesses and building and scaling them and actually selling them. And we know where those pitfalls are and where these expert forms are needed in each part of that business. So based on the scale and size of your business, we're going to build these out for you. And then you can customize them after that. But the work's going to be done here. We're going to take the guessing out. So we're going to use these ready-to-use forms to jumpstart your software and stop you from using a trial and error process of learning form building from scratch. Avoid double entry and make requesting an estimate an easy and straightforward experience for your prospective clients. And not only is it an internal form, but we want to make the customer-facing forms easy and a great experience for your clients. Because let's face it, folks, if you ask too many questions, they're not going to fill them out. And if you don't ask enough questions, you're not going to get the right answers and the right information in there for lead tracking and lead sourcing and all the other things you need to create an estimate. So what we're going to do is give you the best practice that we've learned in the last 25 years in my business and all the time that Dylan and Chad spent building and scaling seven-figure businesses. So we're going to give you the proven formula. And we're going to let your property managers be guided by forms to collect data that you need to upsell clients in the future. So avoiding multiple trips out to estimate common services. We're going to give you the key forms that allowed us to basically go out and collect the data we needed to do client-specific upsells in the future. So we're going to minimize the time and optimize it when you're filling out the form. So we're going to collect all this data. So now when somebody calls and says, hey, I need the bushes trimmed, or I need the beds weeded, or whatever that is, we're going to show you a proven system inside a form to collect that data and create a process now where your admin or your virtual assistant can sell without you having to be there. So we're going to buy that time back again. We're going to go in, and then some of the stuff is we've never shown any of this. So proven goal setting and tracking systems for your business. We're going to plan your goals, or give you the ability to plan your goals, track the progress of your goals, and have outside accountability to push you towards making your goals a reality. We're going to help you confidently plot, update your goals versus achievements. This is the exact process that we use in SimpleGrowth right now. In the last 2 years of basically being full-time, now we've been around 4 or 5 years, but really, I've only been in the business 2 years full-time to scale that business at a 40 to 45% growth rate year after year. These are the things we did in this business and the lawn care business. So it not only worked in the service business, but it works as well the software consulting. So these are proven systems we're going to give you. So we're going to allow you to confidently plot and update your goals versus achievement and understand what progress you've made and where you stand in relationship to your ultimate goal with these direct systems. So we're going to break this down for you. So once again, this is a really rough preview of our new product, SG Launch. Basically, it's Service Autopilot Launch by SimpleGrowth. So in addition, we have got a few other things that we're putting in here. So we've gone over the proven goal tracking for your business. Now we're going to talk about some bonuses we're going to add into the SG Launch. So bonus number 1, a private Facebook group dedicated to just Service Autopilot setup. This doesn't exist. There is not a Facebook group, to my knowledge, that literally revolves around just best workflow and questions, how to set up Service Autopilot, and answering your questions directly on the group with additional expert workflow videos by SimpleGrowth and personally answered questions. But we're going to give you what we used in our 7-figure business. We're not just talking about theory. We're going to show you how to use and leverage the software to scale a 7-figure business or continue to optimize your 7-figure business and buy time back and create process and systems. Instead of using 15 to 20 screens and all the multiple clicks, we're going to show you how to use the 6 to 7 screens to success and cut your clicking in the system down by at least half. So this is a private Facebook group that allows you for dedicated answers to your specific questions with no judgment. Join a community of business owners prepared to take their Service Autopilot and their business to the next level. And you're going to be able to leverage the work of SimpleGrowth to get your business systems in place right away without having trial and error. We're going to give you the exact process and systems we used in my business and Dylan's business and the business that Chad worked with. There is no other entity right now in the Service Autopilot ecosystem that has multi-million-dollar, 7-figure business owners that are willing to share how they utilize the system and give you an expert workflow for your lawn care, home cleaning, or an expert workflow for the residential cleaning as well. So it's a industry-specific solution. It's not generic. It's not a manufactured home. This is a custom-built home built the way you need it to scale your business and have the things you enjoy outside of your business, such as family, work-life balance. Because if you don't have these things built out, you're going to be living in that business. And that's what caused my divorce. I didn't have these things in place. So we're going to give you everything we learned in the last 25 years in Service Autopilot Launch by SimpleGrowth, or we'll call it SG Launch. So bonus number 2 is we're going into live monthly accountability and question and answers with 7-figure business experts at SimpleGrowth. So you're going to get exclusive monthly private webinars for Q&A and going to show you the things that we're going to recommend based on the time of season and our experience, how to use Service Autopilot to fully utilize your business and put your business actually on autopilot. So stop using 10% of the Service Autopilot, because when you use 100%, the system is amazing. So when the buck stops with you, it's easy to get pulled in the daily grind and firefighting. So these monthly meetings here is to help you keep you focused and maintain progress of your goals. We're going to get answers to the questions that matter to you most from the experts who've done it through the grind and dealt with some of the same bottlenecks or all of the bottlenecks and probably some of the bottlenecks you're about to see. So that is going to be part of that Facebook group. And we're going to leverage this Facebook group to make more profitable sales and enjoy more free time off. So if you're looking to have some public accountability and create a private group of like-minded business owners, this is the only private Facebook group that is going to deal strictly with setting up Service Autopilot and utilizing it to success. This will be a very positive ecosystem, and myself, Dylan, and Chad will be in there moderating it and continue to support you through your business journey with Service Autopilot and SimpleGrowth. Now, in addition, bonus number 3, done-for-you automation. So outside of our core automation packages, there is some key things if you're not ready to jump into a sales level 1, 2, 3, or 3 plus that we've just launched. There's some automations that we feel like you absolutely need if you're just starting out, but we don't want to give you generic automations. We want you to have the SimpleGrowth automations and the ones that are built around the expertise and the seven-figure business model. So we're going to go into financial and customer satisfaction with social review. Those are the two biggest things in your business right now that I am going to give you inside this package. So this automated process takes out the emotion and automatically addresses your collection problems. Cash is king. Let's face it, folks. If we're not getting that credit card on file, we're not updating expired credit cards before they happen, and if they are not paying for you, so if you grandfathered some people in or credit cards have failed, we are going to create an automated process. Well, basically it already is created, but we're going to give this to you. But if anybody's used SimpleGrowth automations, they are different. They are built with a lot of logic and they protect you. A great example is our upsells. A lot of times we see people downloading generic upsells or building their own, but they're not talking about where the customer is in the customer life cycle, if they have an estimate for the service in process, if they're on a waiting list, if it's scheduled, or a couple other places in the system can be. And it usually says, hey, would you like to request an estimate for this service? If you already have signed up for it, just ignore this. What happens is you start spamming your customers and it's not talking about where they're at in the customer life cycle. Even worse, financial automations need to have safeguards, and we built those in through years and years of experience. My seven-figure business has been using automations for over 9 years. So you're gaining the expertise and experience of spending well over $150,000 of building these automations out, finding all the experts and training and learning myself how to do it, and then building the SimpleGrowth team. We're up to about 15 or 16 people on the SimpleGrowth team. You have got world-class developers now building and testing and building these, and they're taking the knowledge of Dylan, Chad, and myself and showing and working with our development team, how do we make these world-class automations that actually are built for a service business in a particular industry and make them optimized. That's what you're getting here. And then we're also going to be looking at a proven automated system to minimize your customer cancellation and increase customer satisfaction. So this is going to go out and survey your customers, and no one else has ever figured out how to report on automations inside Service Autopilot. Our team's cracked that code. So if you're using 20 days to close, you probably have a report right now of an automated sales pipeline. Well, we're taking that same revolutionary methodology that SimpleGrowth created, and we are going to give you reporting on a NPS score, Net Promoter Score, between 1 and 10. So those net promoters, you're going to be able to see them, those detractors, the neutrals, and you're going to have a visual pie chart. So you can visually see where you're at and look at the people that are most likely to cancel. And then we're going to segment them all out with their comments. And then if that wasn't enough, included in that, the 9 and 10s, once we realize they're a good review candidate, we push them out to your Google, Yelp, Facebook reviews. And it's not uncommon to get 5 or 6 5-star reviews across a few platforms within the first week or two of using this. So we're going to go out and screen them out and then push them to social reviews. And if they're a cancellation risk, you can look at that on a daily, weekly basis and work those neutral and detractors and bring them up to avoid cancellation and bad social reviews. So what we're looking at, this pricing is not official yet, but basically this is everything that you're going to get with the SG launch. So Service Autopilot launch by SimpleGrowth, proven daily budget versus actual success system, about a $468 value, pre-built expert forms to run your business, built by 7-figure business owners that have already been there and done that. We're not building manufactured home, folks. We're building custom-built homes that are built for your industry and where you're at in your business right now. Proven goal setting and tracking systems for your business, $1,000 value. Bonus number 1, private Facebook group dedicated to just Service Autopilot, another $360 value. Bonus number 2, live monthly accountability Q&A with 7-figure business experts. You get Dylan, myself, and Chad on that for live Q&A, and we're going to be teaching and reinforcing with some public accountability and challenges inside that group of what you should be doing in your business at that point of scale and the time of year. Final bonus number 3, done for you automation. So we're not going to say, hey, tell us what automations you want. We're going to show and give you the automations that are proven to scale that business and just avoid you losing years and hundreds of thousands of dollars for cancellations and bad social review and financial reporting. So that's going to be all automated. That's bonus number 3. So the total value, if you were to buy this all separately, I added it up because most of this stuff is onesie twosies you can buy from us, and some of it that isn't, we are going to do one-off sales. So you're looking at a value of about $7,600 a year. But in the next week or two, we will be selling that at $1,188 a year in one full payment, or $110 a month to make it a little bit cheaper and affordable. But folks, you're looking at about a $7,600 value. We're going to do it for $1,188 a year, and we're going to be going in and giving you those 3 bonuses as well, because we don't want you to have to come to us and say, hey, Mike, build this for me, do this, and then see if it actually works in your business. We're going to give you the proven roadmap for success and give you some flexibility if there's some other things you need built out. But the idea here is we don't want you to make the same mistakes that we've already made, or some of the things we got lucky enough to get right. We want to give you a proven system around Service Autopilot, and we're calling it Service Autopilot Launch by SimpleGrowth. And then we're giving you these 3 additional bonuses of the private Facebook group just dedicated to Service Autopilot setup, monitored by myself, Dylan, and Chad, 7-figure business owners and experts, live monthly accountability question and answers, and done for you automations around the key things, in our opinion, that you need to be looking at in your business outside of our core suite of automation as far as sales level 3+ and sales level 3 automation. So comments or questions, drop below. Want to say what's up, everybody watching. We've got Hobie, Dave Voynia. What's up, David? Brett Brownie and Brett Brownlee and David Isabel. David Isabel says, sign me up. Was literally going to call you tomorrow and ask if you could build all of these things out. Brother, we've got your back. Things have been a little crazy here with the family and some COVID lockdown, but everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. But it has quite honestly delayed some of the stuff that we were going to get out here in the next week or two. But we're going to be diving in. We're going to be doing this. So if you're joining late, you definitely want to check this out. Great Facebook Live tonight about KPIs, some of the things we're going to be including. But Service Autopilot Launch by SimpleGrowth is going to be out here probably the end of this week. I'd say probably next week to be safe. And that is going to be the key here. So if anybody's watching this live right now and you have any questions around this, feel free to put them in the message box. I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes just to answer any of those questions and see if I can answer any questions. If you have any other questions around business practices, Service Autopilot, automation, messenger bots, drop them in there. The messenger bots are the estimator bots are literally like flying off the shelves right now because people are starting to understand that shift in buying with on-demand buying habits is there. And that is, it's a big thing right now. So another thing that I'm going to, while I'm letting the cat out of the bag and doing some previews here, Derek Jenkins, when is the sign up? Derek, it's going to probably be the end of this week, beginning of next week. We're just dialing everything in. There's actually a few more things, including that 1188, that we're actually going to be including on top of that. So it's just going to be a ton of value that you're going to basically be able to take advantage of. But Derek, if that's something you're interested, brother, drop me a PM so I don't forget, private message, and I'll have Dylan or myself reach out to you in the next few days, and I'll get you on the early list. But if that, obviously, that crazy value of about $7,600 worth of stuff for $1,188 is insane. And we'll basically have a couple other goodies where we can build some documents and forms for you throughout the year that you need built out. But the idea is we don't want you to guess what you need to do. We're just going to show you and give you that roadmap. And that's the key. We want to make it affordable, but we want to make you self-sufficient and give you the keys and tools you need. Other thing to be looking at here is we're going to be running some Facebook ads out to this, as well as just some organic posts. But this is something we're going to be doing to go behind the SimpleGrowth Service Autopilot Launch program. So if you're only using 10% of Service Autopilot, stop guessing if you have the setup right for your business and your industry. So don't worry about features and functions, folks. We're going to show you the workflow and how you need to use it in your lawn care, pest control, or home cleaning business specifically, because this software needs to be utilized differently based on your business and your business goals. So we're going to show you that. But what we're going to do here is actually give you a 4-part free video training series to help you expedite your setup of Service Autopilot So if you don't have the resources or you're not ready to commit to have SimpleGrowth help you and do it for you, I'm going to give you 4 how-to videos in this, and this will be coming out in the next few days, but we're going into industry-specific setup from experts who've scaled those 7-figure businesses and know your challenges. That's the key. We've been there, we've done that. We know the challenges you're having because we've been there, and we know the challenges you're going to have. We're going to talk about in this 4 free videos, estimate and service matrix setup with proven help for business owners that have utilized Service Autopilot in their business. So we're not just trained how to use the software. We've actually figured out how to make it work in a service business in the day-to-day trenches and grind while scaling that business. And then how to use that price matrix blueprint, the SimpleGrowth blueprint, which holds the keys to instantly know exactly what you need to do when updating and creating new services. So once again, we're going to show you how to build your own or utilize our blueprint to go in and understand how we built it. So it goes into the calculation, the service mode. Is there sales tax? Is it a subservice for estimates? Is there account? Is there classes? Is it a parent service, a child service? What custom field? All those things right now, too much to keep track of. We've created a standardized process. So in this, we'll be launching this, I would say by the end of the week, if not Monday. This will be free on Facebook. And all you need to do is click to learn more. We're going to get you into 4 on-demand videos that are going to demystify what you need to do for your specific industry and how to stop using only 10% of Service Autopilot and get it set up for your particular business and industry and not relying on generic features and functions, folks. And that's the issue that I had in my business for several years, trial and error. And I said, you know what? There's got to be a better way. I bought into Jonathan Potoshnik of the Lawn Care Millionaire, co-founder of Service Autopilot's dream of an automated business on autopilot, on Service Autopilot. And this was before automations. But I bought into that, and I believed in Jonathan. I flew out, and I spent 3 or 4 days with him. Obviously, that's not an option anymore. But the people in Academy will tell you that as well, that it's the same experience. But the issue that I had, and pretty much every business owner that I talked to, I mean, we've talked about 8 or 9 different business owners today, just myself. Dylan probably talked to 8 or 9. Chad talked to 8. So we probably talked to 25 or 30 business owners today, between 3 or 4 of us. And the resounding issue is they're really only utilizing 10% of the software, and we're guessing how to get it set up for a workflow. So we're teaching a workflow, we're setting a workflow, and we know how it's done because I've used Service Autopilot for 9 or 10 years in my businesses. And Dylan has done the same thing, and so has Chad. And it's interesting because before all 3 of us met each other and we came to the table and compared notes, the workflows were almost identical. Now, we've talked and masterminded together and really optimized those for your service business particularly. So really, really important. This is something we're going to give away here, but watch for it. Service Autopilot launch by SimpleGrowth, that private Facebook group just focused on Service Autopilot with a lot of positivity. And folks, if I don't care what you pay us, if you're not going to be positive, you're not coming to the table, and you don't want to be held accountable, and we're going to have a private challenge in there as well, which is going to have some rewards and some great teachings in there in addition. So thousands of dollars worth of value just in the challenge we're going to put in there. We're looking for like-minded business owners that want to grow and scale their business 2021 and know the value of proven systems and adopt them. Folks, the biggest mistake I made in my business, I went out and tried to learn everything myself, but I went out and found experts that had done it already. So that's when I flew out and hung out with Jonathan for 3 or 4 days. We went to masterminds group, and we found guys like Garrett Matthews, Chad Cranston, amongst some other guys that had done certain things we hadn't done, and I had done things they hadn't done, but we learned from each other. We didn't second guess it. Like, hell, if it works, let's just do it and let's get it done. And that's the biggest thing that we even find with SimpleGrowth's automations is a very few select people will come to us and say, Mike, your automations look great, but my business is different, or my market is different. Folks, it isn't. There may be some nuances, but people buy services the way they buy services. I don't care if you're in New Mexico, New York, LA, San Francisco, it doesn't matter. People buy services the way they buy services. That is how they do it. Businesses, service businesses, run and are successful because they do these common things. So we're going to show you what those are, how to execute it. But going back to the automation idea, just as an example, is a very few select people, 1 or 2 out of hundreds, will go, well, Mike, I want you to customize this, or I want you to change this, or change that, change this. we'll make tweaks to it. But honestly, the biggest point of advice that I can give the people watching this live or not is you've got to, if somebody has been there and done it and it's proven successful and they're not a scam artist, but you trust them, just adopt the freaking thing that they've done. Try it for 3 to 6 months, 12 months, and then make those little tweaks. Don't go out and reinvent the wheel. Business is business the way it's done. Yes, technology is shifting, but you're looking at a team here of experts that has lived this in the same way you have, and some of us still kind of are. We know how it worked, how it was successful. Take that proven model, and then once you have it for 3 to 6 months, then make some little fine-tune adjustments. But if it's not broke, don't fix it, folks. And we're going to show you how to go in there. But if you're in the mindset of you just want to be able to take something and run with it and just make some fine-tuning after you get going with it, this is your solution of positivity. Man, and this Facebook group is well overdue. And I've been wanting to do this, but as of recent, I wanted to create a private Facebook group just for service autopilot setup with some challenges in there, live, with experts that have actually done it, and give you sound advice. So comments or questions, drop them in there. Derek says, Dylan talked with me today. Awesome. Yeah, Dylan is awesome, man. Derek says, David, I am in the same boat already. Purchase packages, great automations, great customer service. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, we really do provide pride ourselves in the customer service and going out of our way to help other business owners. Because the thing is, Dylan, Chad, and I, and everybody else on Spoken, we've been there. We get it. And we know what you need to be successful. And we are more than willing to go out of our way to help you and do that. So that's, I think, been the success of SimpleGrowth and why there really is no one else right now in the ecosystem that brings to the table what SimpleGrowth does. We're bringing industry expertise of using the selected software of automations and service autopilot, and we're giving you all the keys that were successful in our business, and we're giving you the roadmap to success. So any other comments or questions, drop them below. But I'm really, really excited to show you this. This here on the screen is going to be a free 4-video series to go down and demystify and give you some of that workflow. And then the service autopilot launch by SimpleGrowth, going to be pretty insane. This is going to launch, I would say, is going to launch probably the end of this week, but I'd say probably more conservatively next week with part of the family still being down, a little bit of COVID lockdown here. Everybody's clean and safe and healthy, but things have been a little crazy. So, but we're talking about the daily versus actual time success system for lawn care business owners, pre-built expert forms to run your business built by 7-figure businesses that have already been there, proven goal setting and tracking systems for your business, and a bunch of bonuses. That private Facebook group dedicated just to service autopilot setup, live monthly accountability Q&A with 7-figure business owner experts, and some challenges in there, and done for you automations around financial, credit card updates, social reviews, and customer satisfaction. Huge value here. And if you add up everything separately, it's about a $7,600 value. We're projecting, it's not finalized, but we think it's going to be $1,188 for the year or $110 a month for this product with some other things we're adding in. So sweet. All right, guys. Well, it is getting late here. I've got some marketing copy. I've got to write here and spend some time with the wife, but appreciate everybody joining me here. Comments, questions on the recorded live version, put them in. I can't wait to get this out here. So keep your eye out when you see this Facebook ad or organically. SimpleGrowth Service Autopilot launch. This is going to be a 4 free video series to go over business knowledge and challenges, price matrix, how to utilize it, how to raise your prices, how to set up Service Autopilot so it can be delegated to people for raising prices and updating services, and a whole bunch more. So this is going to be our free preview videos, and then we're going to actually launch the product as well. So hopefully you found the KPI video helpful, and I can't wait to get this out to you guys as well. So we'll see you then, and take a look out there as well on Facebook. We have a free lawn mowing estimate template out there that goes over each size mower and production rates of difficulty. We also have a mulch and bagged mulch, so bulk and bagged mulch estimator template free floating around on the internet as well on Facebook. And it also covers bulk and bagged mulch with different depths of 1, 2, and 3 inches. So just really trying to give you all the tools you need to scale your business to 7 figures and beyond, and not have your life sucked away from you in the process. So we'll see you again tomorrow night. Callahan's Corner. You ask the questions, we answer them live. right here on Facebook.